Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into something a little different. The Rules of Fortune.
Oh, cool.
By Danielle Prescod, right?
Yes.
So, this is not just a typical family drama. I think that's kind of a lazy way to describe it.
Yeah.
But this is a book that really looks at wealth and race and family dynamics, particularly within affluent Black families.
Okay, interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
And so we're going to be looking at like how Prescod tackles the ideas of privilege,
Right.
and family legacy,
Yeah.
and what it really means to be successful in a world that isn't necessarily built for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting
Yeah.
way to put it, and a really fascinating thing to explore in this book.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that Prescott does really well is she challenges sort of the typical narrative of wealth, right?
Right.
Like, we're used to seeing, like, the rags to riches story
Yeah.
and, you know...
Like bootstrap narrative.
the bootstrap narrative,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And she really kind of digs into how privilege can be both, like, a blessing and a curse.
Right.
And particularly for the characters in this book,
Yeah.
you see how it kind of plays out in their lives in very complex ways.
I think what's so interesting too is, there's so
Yeah.
many examples
Yeah.
of the characters really grappling with that.
Absolutely.
Like with the double-edged sword of privilege, Like there's that one scene where,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if you remember this,
Yeah.
where character name, I think, is offered like this incredible opportunity.
Right. And
Let me-
it comes at a cost.
It comes at a huge cost, right?
Yeah.
Like she's expected to conform to all these
Oh,
social
snitch.
norms that ultimately like kind of compromise her sense of self.
It makes you wonder if it's really worth it.
Yeah.
Like, what are we giving up to achieve this so-called success?
Yeah, what stood out to you most about like her approach to kind of depicting that?
I think Prescott does a brilliant job of showing the psychological and emotional burdens
Okay.
that can come with affluence.
Right.
Like, it's not just about having money, right?
Right.
It's about this constant pressure to, like, maintain a certain image and this fear of, like, losing that status.
Yeah.
Like, being on top and then having that all stripped away.
It's almost like they're trapped in like a gilded cage,
Oh, that's a great way to put it, yeah. Like, it looks glamorous from the outside, but on the inside, there's this
Yeah.
real sense of entrapment.
There's a lot of unhappiness there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, speaking of like things being passed down, right?
Mm-hmm.
The concept of like family legacy
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
is really central to this.
Yeah, huge
And
runs toward
this-
the whole thing.
What are your thoughts on like how she portrays inheritance
Okay.
as being about so much more than money?
You know, one of the things that really struck me
Yeah.
was this unspoken rule, right?
Yeah.
That the younger generation would follow in their parents' footsteps,
Yeah.
even if it meant, like, giving up
Oh yeah.
their own dreams and aspirations, you know?
Right.
And that really hit home for me, thinking about, like, how values and traditions can shape our choices without us even realizing it,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
What about you?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Did anything in there, like, resonate with you in particular?
I mean, it definitely made me think about
Yeah.
how we inherit not just like material possessions,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
but also the weight of past decisions
Exactly.
and like unspoken expectations.
Yes, that's such a good point.
You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes breaking free from those can be
Yeah.
its own challenge.
It's hard. It's easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah.
I think moving beyond family a little bit,
Okay.
The Rules of Fortune also offers a really fresh perspective on race and class within these elite circles.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. I completely agree.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think, by focusing on the experiences of this affluent Black family, Prescott really highlights these unique pressures and
Yeah.
challenges that they face, right? Like,
Yeah.
we see how they're navigating these spaces where they're often the only ones, right?
Right.
And they're dealing with microaggressions, even within, like, their own social circles. You know?
Yeah, and that, I mean, it's so crucial to have
Well,
these
it's-
kinds of stories
Yeah.
represented in literature.
Yeah. I think it's so important to see these different
Yeah.
facets of the Black experience represented,
Right. Yeah.
and not just, like, the stereotypical narratives that we often see.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that she like doesn't shy away
Mm-hmm.
from those complex issues of race and class. You
Yeah.
know? It's like she's really challenging readers
Right.
to like confront their own assumptions about tower in status.
It's really thought-provoking.
Yeah.
And it pushes you to examine your own biases.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think what's also so captivating is that she does all of this while still telling a story that is so engaging.
It's not just like a dry lecture, you know?
Yeah.
It's a story that pulls you in.
Not like juicy.
It's juicy, exactly. You get invested in these characters.
Yeah.
You want to know what happens to them.
Yeah, totally.
And at the same time, it's making you think, you know?
Right.
Yeah, she weaves it all together really well.
Yeah, it's not like an after-school special.
No.
I mean, where it's like, we're teaching you a lesson.
Right. It's not preachy.
It's so subtle.
Yeah, very subtle.
Like, it's just in there, you know?
Exactly.
So, like, I think if you're looking for a book that will make you think and make you question and, like, make you see the world through a different lens.
Absolutely.
The Rules of Fortune.
This is the book for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, it's a powerful exploration of, you know, inheritance and race and, like,
discovery.
Self-discovery, all that. Yeah.
And it's a story that really lingers in your mind.
Yeah.
Long after you finish the last page, you know?
Yeah.
It makes you think about your own life.
Right.
And the legacies that we all carry.
Yeah.
The tangible and the intangible.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It leaves you with so many questions, you know?
So many questions, yes.
Like, how do past generations, like, shape our present lives? What unspoken rules are we all unknowingly
exactly
like following, you know?
Yeah.
It's wild.
It makes you really examine your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you'll find some
I hope so.
unexpected insights into your own life.
Yeah, me too.
And like the legacies that you carry within you.
The legacies we inherit, yeah. It's a powerful thing to think about.
Absolutely.
And I think this book really captures that.
Yeah, totally.
In a beautiful way.
I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, great chatting with you as always.
Likewise, it was a pleasure.
All right, cool. Take care.